Today we're going to talk about the misuse of cell phones in your car and why it's not a good idea because the deadly consequences and subsequent fines. According to the Huffington Post, 1 out of 4 Americans is killed every day due to accidents involving cell phone use, such as texting, checking Facebook, and other apps on the cell phones. So let me ask you some questions. How many of you have cell phones that you carry with you? How many of you use them while you're in a car?
No.
One guilty. How many of you pick up your phones while driving or in motion? And how many of you have seen people talking, texting while driving? And how many of you look at your phones while you're trying to search through your playlist? Today, as I talk to you about the dangers of cell phone use, I will hope to challenge you or change your mind and behaviors when it comes to cell phone use in vehicles. This topic is very important to me because in 2009, my best friend Matt was involved in a texting and driving accident. It left him permanently disfigured, and he has a limp, and he has some cognitive problems what happened to his accident. First, I will describe the problem with their cell phone use in cars. 2, I will talk to you about solutions. And 3, I will ask you your help in keeping us all safe while we are driving. So let's begin with the problem. According to Dr. Travis, texting and driving takes your eyes off the road for 4.6 seconds. That's like driving a whole football field blindly. There's also enough time for you to veer into oncoming traffic, causing a horrific accident. 6,000 deaths, 500,000 injuries are caused by distracted drivers every year. According to the Denver Post, in 2009, Governor Bill Ritter mandated into a law that it is a crime to send texts, emails, or tweets while driving. It is also a crime for anybody under the age of 18 to even have a cell phone in the car while they're driving. Studies have shown in Denver, 3 out of 4 drivers have been distracted and get into fatal accidents due to the cell phone use while driving. So, say that you're in a car texting and driving your friend, or texting while driving with your friends. The last text you send to one of your friends is, "I'll be there in 5 minutes." The next vision that you look up is you rear-ending another car. The next is the mother flying out the windshield. And blood just dripping from her fingers from the impact. What would be your next thought as you sit there watching this? Would you think about how much trouble you would be in? Now that we've talked about the problem, let's take a look at some of the solutions. Let's try to put down your phone, mute the ringer, and put it out of sight. Use the out of sight mind rule when you have your cell phone in your car. We don't want to be distracted by the ringing and the flashing of our cell phones. We all know how tempting that is, just to pick it up, quick look to see who's on our phone. What if it's important? Try to pull over to the side of the road if you must answer your phone or text. You can start off small, and little successes make a big difference. A habit can be broken in with 2 weeks' time. So that means, though we have a bad habit, we can break the cycle by making small improvements, such as taking a trip to the store without our cell phones. Make each time a little bit longer until you no need to grab your phone. Now that we have realized that our habits of cell phone use and how important it is for us to stop, and gone over some basic steps on how to break the habits, let's take a view on what would happen if we sit back and do nothing. Meet Anne. Anne and her friends were driving down the highway texting a boy. She only took her eyes off the road for a few seconds. Another car that she collided with was carrying an infant and 2 parents. They collided because she was texting and driving. Their heads thrashed around in the car until the car was still. The father was injected, and the infant laid still and quiet, lifeless in the back seat. Anne was the only one who survived. This time. I'm sure you're probably thinking who would want to get that phone call if it was your kid or your family member who said, well, the person was texting and driving, and now a whole family is dead. And you have to go to the funeral for the infant. It's a devastating cause to what could have been prevented. AT&T actually has a simulator, and it's called It Can Wait. And for any of you who want to know actually what it's like, it shows you what it's like to be texting and driving, and those are your eyes. And when you look up or down, it shows you how long the text was and how much traffic has gone in front of you. And at the end of this app, if you do well enough, you may not get into an accident. But if you miss one single step, you kill everybody. I think this is a very good depiction on what could possibly happen. Texting and driving is extremely dangerous and detrimental habit, and it must be broken. So today I ask you to put down your phones and sign the pledge by going to bsc.org to take the first step in protecting us all. Is there any questions?
How distracting is having a Bluetooth for your car?
There's still distractions because you're concentrating on how to, sometimes you have to push buttons, sometimes you have to think about what you're doing, and they're still saying that talking doesn't cause as many accidents, but it does cause a significant amount.
So how can I get my daughter not to use her cell phone, or even bring it in the car when they go everywhere with their cell phones?
I would actually have her try the Simulator Act. Or you could actually maybe have her go to a texting and driving funeral. Make her really think of the repercussions.
What do you think it's worse though? People still do it all the time, and why isn't it like now? So we have so much technology now. Why don't they make it so you can't like your phone won't work like in their car.
I think that's
That
a
would be
really good
really
idea. That is a really good idea, and I think that's why a lot of cars have the vocal commands to where if somebody's ringing in, you say pick up. But and I think that's still a little risky when it comes to that. But that's a really good idea. You should invent that. All right. Well, thank you guys, and I appreciate your time. And we'll answer call lights now.
Yeah.